Alright, it is take 2. How's it going? It's MrScaryMuffin, and I have a special guest today who is being very patient while we figure out how things work in this thing. Really? Really, computer? Alright, there you go. It's Julia! We're going to be going over some of the matches from the Burnaby City Championships, and it's a tournament where Julia did better than I did. She was ranked 19 at the end of it. I was ranked 20. We're going to go over one of her games. Was this the final round? It was round 5 or round 6. Yeah. And it's between her on the left side and Jack on the right side. And Jack is a very good player. He was... Oh, there's his mulligan hand. You see... Oh no, that was his non-mulligan hand.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure if he mulligan if he was just showing the camera.
Okay. He was showing how bad-tastic his name is, his hand was. But yeah, Jack was a top 4 finisher in the Worlds last year, but that was in the senior division, which is like 13 to 15 or something like that. And then he's in the master division this year. He evolved. But he has his invite already, so he doesn't really care how well he does. He just wants to ruin Julia's day, in this case.
Oh yeah, the minute I found out I was facing him, I actually thought he was kidding. I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. Is this actually like the tournament match, or did you just want to like, verse me? And he's like, nope, this is the tournament match. And I was like, awesome. I was like, well, enjoy your win. Because I was at this point like, yeah, sure, like I'm gonna beat someone who finished top 4. All right, sure. All
right, so you're gonna call for family here using the Emolga, and that will grab you 2 basic Pokemons from your deck onto your bench, and you're playing RayEels, it looks like. Tell me a little bit about your deck. What's so special about it?
Well, my RayEels is a pretty standard RayEels, Rayquaza EX. I do also run the promo Rayquaza, the one with Shred, and I also run Emolgas. I am very, very heavy switch though, and I actually do not run Sky Arrow. Ooh.
Oh, heavy switch. How many switches?
4.
Wow, that's heavy. That's as heavy as it can get. It's almost Terrakion heavy.
Almost, yeah. And then it's because people always catch from my eels.
Yeah.
And so then I also obviously always want to accelerate with my eels. For those who don't know what eels do, they let you take electric out of the discard, put it on your bench Pokemon, and then I use obviously fires to power up my rays as well.
It looks like Jack here, and we talked about this before. You showed your hand, and your hand had 3 eels in it. Like, so that if he didn't end you this turn, obviously he didn't know what was in your hand unless they were cheating. But you could have gone eel, 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 Juniper, and then have like a fantastic start, basically the best turn 2 possible. But Jack is playing some weird deck that you probably have an idea at this point, because he puts a grass energy on Terrakion, and I believe he reveals a psychic energy later on, which pretty much signifies he's playing Ho-Oh, using Ho-Oh's rebirth ability from the discard to get more energies on the field suddenly, and then using energy switch to put them where he wants to go. How is this matchup like? What is your typical strategy for this matchup?
I don't face a lot of Ho-Oh, but usually it's just I just have to snipe with RayEels, or not necessarily snipe, but I just have to take my Rayquaza and just one-hit KO everything. So I just need to get essentially 2 Rayquazas into play, 2 EXs, and just attach, go in for the KO, just capturing up the EXs, which he'll usually be attacking with anyways, especially Mewtwo's and Ho-Ohs, because they don't threaten to one-hit KO me, but I can one-hit KO them. So that's pretty much my strategy. I just have to take my 6 prizes with 3 EXs.
So pretty much the same strategy you do against any other deck. Get 3 KOs with 1-shots against EXs and win game. Yeah. So we'll see what's going on right now. It is your turn. You played an N off his N, and so everybody is having a shuffling good time.
Yeah.
You want to show your T-shirt? You got the Everyday I'm Shuffling shirt with.
Oh wait, you can't see it. There.
Yeah, Cleffa.
Yeah.
And of course, people who are playing right now wouldn't get it because Cleffa was from the last format. But basically, Cleffa had a free attack that lets you shuffle your hand and draw 6 new cards. It was fantastic for the beginning, up until Darkrai came out. Then nobody.
People would just stall. They just bring Cleffa up and just shuffle all day.
Yeah.
Which is why the T-shirt came to be. It also is wearing LMFAO glasses. To make it extra classy.
Did you make that picture yourself, or?
The Cleffa itself, no. I mean, that's just like the Cleffa picture from Pokemon. But then I went and found the glasses, and I had to alpha and make them fit correctly and stuff.
So pro, and you got the black and white 2 banner behind you. It's so pro. I just don't compare. And so one more like geeky thing we'll talk about is all the frickin' EVs everywhere here. You didn't get to show your playmat because we were using the Magic Stronghold, who is the venue for this event. But Jack has an affinity for EVs, and you have an affinity for EVs as well.
Yeah.
Who do you think is a bigger EV fan? Oh, and Arcanine, yes.
The Eevee fan, Eevee itself, him for sure. I'm more of Evolutions, my favorite being obviously Shiny Umbreon because it's turquoise, which is my favorite color. So it's black and turquoise. And
you say obviously, but I don't see any signs of that whatsoever.
Yeah, because you can't find shiny, Umbreon stuff anywhere. However, if you could see the back of my laptop right now, which you can't because the camera's in front, got like a Pokemon skin on it, and there's a shiny Umbreon on there, which is why I used it. Yeah, but yeah, I think right now I can't really see the rest of my playfield, but I think right now I'm pretty much stalling.
Well, it's Jack's turn right now, and I think you guys are going pretty slow. I think we're only about 6 minutes into the game. You got 1 Eel, 2 Tiny Moes, and 2 Rays. One of your Ray has fire and electric.
Yeah.
And yeah, due to the way the camera's set up, Julia can't see what's on her bench. So he's going to catch her up your Tynamo, and this is where we crashed last time because my computer can't handle like 15 programs running at the same time. It's all good. So he looks like he's going to computer search for the switch here, and he's going to try to kill the Tynamo. And you're hoping right now, is like, I hope all your switches are prized.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, though, I pretty much know he's going to get one. I mean, what are the chances they're all prized? So I always, expect the worst, right? So I'm like, okay, he's going to switch, going to kill off my Tynamo. Not a big deal, because at this point I don't actually have another way to get an Eel into play. I also don't have any electrics in the discard anyways, but I do have my Emolga. So I'm like, sure, go ahead, kill my Tynamo. I figure they're kind of just catcher bait anyways. And then I can always just call for family, because at this time I'm still expecting to have to stall a little bit because I don't have anything.
One of the interesting things about how Pokemon is right now is the order you take prizes, because if you kill support Pokemons like Eels, you take only 1 prize, which actually means you have to get yet another KO, whereas RayEels needs to get 3 KOs against EXs, because EXs give 2 prizes each. But if he's killing your Tynamos, that means he'll have to kill another prize and then maybe 2 EXs, which is 4 prizes in total, and that's an extra turn. So by only going after the Eels, or going after EXs, you can take less prizes as well, which makes a big difference.
It does, yeah.
So you tool scrap the Eviolite on, or the Eviolite, as you like to say, on the Mewtwo here, and you're going to end again, which is value, because he's going to draw less cards.
At this point, he's like, "Oh, we're at 3 ends now that you're using. You're burning all your ends," and I'm like, "No biggie. I'm not worried." Because at this point, I know he's gonna. If I can kill 1 or 2 X's, I'll be ahead in the prize anyways. So end's not a super big deal late game. I'd rather have a Juniper.
Yes.
I don't mind burning them in the beginning a little quicker than so.
That's pretty much what I do too. I tend to burn my ends really fast.
I don't have a ton left for if we're at like 2 prizes and I'm. Because once my Rayquazas are set up, I don't really need a lot out of my deck, except for a catcher. But then again, I usually just use Skyla for that.
You need catcher or switch typically in the late game. So you got your second Eel up now. So that's 2 Eels, 1 empty bench slot. No electrics in your discard, unfortunately, so you can't really Dynamotor. If you could Dynamotor, that Mewtwo would be dead.
I'm aware of it.
And you had no electrics in your hand either. It looks like you're just going to Ultra Ball. Is that the shiny Rayquaza going away?
That's the promo Rayquaza. I figure he's not going to be super helpful here, just because I'm assuming he probably runs at least 1 like Landorus or something. Usually they can end up sniping you, and then they can kind of just KO you pretty quick. Also, I figure at this point I have to get 3 Eels and my 2 Rayquazas. That's just it. That's the only way I'm going to win this, so there's no point in wasting a bench space for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Emolga can also clog up bench space, but he's also your free retreater right now in between turns, in between KOs. Like, do you find people normally killing the Emolga, or do they just leave it alone?
Leave it alone. They're more concerned about my Eels, right? Which is fine with me. In the sense that I can always call for family if I have to and things like that.
Who the heck was that?
Never. But no, the greatest thing though about Emolga though is that it resists fighting, so I can always bring it up to in situations where there's Landers, forcing him to have a catcher in order to KO any of my Tynamos or Eels. which is why I'll do like a Molga as well.
So you pulled up the Terrakion hoping to stall there, but he had another switch in hand, and he is going to capture your Tynamo, and he's going to take another KO. So now he's up 2 KOs, up 2 prizes, and what are your thoughts going on here now?
Right here, I'm like pretty much thinking GG, because I'm like, okay, well, now he's just going to start going after my eels, even though he only has 2 captures. Doesn't matter. Attach 1 energy, just KO my Emolga, and just start running through the rest of my stuff, right? If I don't get, you know, something else on the board, because at this point I just have to manually attach Mariquaza because I have no way to get any more electrics into the discard at this point, which is why I think I Junipered there, something like that.
So you no, I think you Bianca there. You got no electrics. You picked up a Juniper and electric in your hand, but you already attached the fire for your turn. So it's gonna take a while. Super Rod, go get your Dynamo.
Yeah, I needed to, because obviously I have 2 eels on the board. I don't have any more Dynamo, so I have to take the bow, especially use it now when I don't have any electrics in the discard.
Yeah. Always shuffle. Come on,
Eels. Capture number 3. 1 I discarded at the beginning, and then 2. So this is capture number 3. So.
Do you run 4 catchers?
So I have 1 more in there somewhere, which is why I'm going through my deck right now as well. Yeah, I'm just pretty much hoping that I can get everything into play fast enough. Again, I'm still just stalling because I have nothing.
Do you want to play Dota 2, Julia? Jasmine just got 6 Dota 2 invites. She's just throwing them away now.
It's like, it's kind of like Warcraft-esque, I think. Right?
It's like League of Legends. Apparently, whenever I'm speaking, your mic goes down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Well, that's why I always put in my headphones too, because my mic is noise canceling. So if it hears you, it will quiet down. You're closer because you're coming from my computer speakers.
Oh, so wait, you're on your laptop. That's why your screen has speakers.
Yeah. Well, no, there's that one, but then my actual screen has speakers, which is my.
You know, if you have a laptop and a screen, like if your laptop's connected to your screen, you can actually extend your monitor, so now you have 2 monitors.
No, my TV all the time.
Alright, so he's got a Ho-Oh in his discard now, and probably some energies and stuff like that. Ho-Oh activates on a flip, so if you miss the tails, you gotta wait another turn. If you miss the heads, I mean, you have to wait another turn before you try it again. But he's not going to try it yet. It doesn't look like there's enough energies in there for his liking. But he has an energy accelerator now, so does that make you nervous? Because I've actually never really played against Ho-Oh either.
They can be pretty crazy, especially because obviously I'm not, hammer time or anything, so it can get pretty nuts, especially because any Ho-Oh decks run a lot of energy switch, and I know that, so the thing is, even if he gets a Ho-Oh up, even if he's not attacking with that, he can start land crushing me with his Terrakion for 90, or, for the weakness on the eels, times 2 to nothing, it would matter anyways. But he can, start doing a lot more damage a lot faster, even if it's not necessarily with Ho-Oh, because to be honest, Ho-Oh's not the best attacker in the world. As far as the fighting might actually be more useful on the Terrakion, so stuff like that. And also it helps him get out of an active spot if I do catch him in there, right? You can always energy switch on and retreat if he has to.
Alright, so off the Juniper there, you're showing your hand right now. Off the Juniper, you managed to hit an eel, and you discarded a fire and electric. I'm guessing you were hoping to hit an eel and another electric in your hand so you can attach that electric and then Dynamotor the one that you discarded so that you could kill the Mewtwo. Terrakion's active right now, so it's not like you could be able to kill that, but he's going to plus power here, and
did a little misplay here. He forgot Volta was resistant.
Oh, he picks up the prizes too. Whoops.
Said, no, it's resist.
And he says, oh, let me put that prizes back. Oh, even Jack. With the plus power, you do 2 damage. He should have shuffled his prizes at this point though, because he saw that prize.
I didn't actually notice he saw it. I thought he just kind of picked it up and didn't look at it, and then just put it down. Because some people kind of start lifting it up. I honestly thought that's what he did, but at this point,
Alright, so double level ball goes here, and you're just thinning your deck at this point.
I'm like, there's nothing in here I want. I just, need to get rid of these darn level balls so I don't draw into them again, because I don't need them anymore. At this point, if my eels go down, I do not have the time to get them back up again to catch up in prizes. So.
Wait, how many emolgas do you have? 2?
Only 1 in play, but I do have 2 in
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you can level ball for the emolga and get rid of that as well.
Yeah, but the only thing is that if I didn't want to take up my bench space. So
Oh, you don't have to bench it. You just have it in your hand so you can like Juniper away or something.
If I remember correctly. Otherwise, yes, I would have, just to thin it out, but I didn't have a Juniper. I think it was an N.
Oh no, Julia, you took 1 prize with a fully charged Ray. But I'm guessing you're ready to power up, but then that causes the issue here that we were talking about before, where now you have to take 4 prizes instead of 3.
Yeah.
And he's got his Landorus down. That's going to be scary.
As though I knew I had to take away his Terrakion simply just to remove, because it's to be honest, it's more of a threat than Mewtwo at this point, because Mewtwo would require a lot more energy, and so I was like, you know what, if I take it out, he doesn't have Retaliate anymore. If he switches into Mewtwo and I somehow knock it out, right? He doesn't have Retaliate. He doesn't have anywhere to move those fighting if he does get his Ho-Oh, so I am putting more energies into the discard, but I'd rather get rid of them off the field at this point.
And right now, I don't think you played many switches at all, so you can switch your Rayquazas and not have to manually attach that fire again for a while. It looks like you're pretty set up here, and it looks like we have a game. He's only up by 1 prize on top of you, and he's going to drop another Mewtwo on the bench, and he's just going to put a little Naked 60 on. Expecting this Mewtwo to go by.
Yeah.
Oh no, you played the switch before you put the energies!
This was my misplay number 1. I was like, oh no, but I had 2 switches in hand, so I was like, I can fix this, but I meant to switch into my Molga, if anything, right, because I was going to heal it off.
Yeah, I mean, even if you played the switch, you could just go to the Molga, and then it's essentially the same thing.
I did that, I sat there, I'm like, oh god. I was just too quick. I was just too quick on the draw. I was just like, no, because I knew I could knock it out. So I was like, yeah, no, what did I do?
Oh, poor Julia, poor Julia. I mean, even if you misplay the switch, you could have pushed the Emolga, you're right. Do you play Poké Center in your deck?
I play Pokemon Center, which is why I was like, not having a big deal. But that's also why that Landorus is not as threatening, because even if he snipes my eel, he can't capture and knock it out. Because I just heal it off, right? I do actually misplay, I think, one of my heals near the end of the game, but it didn't really matter anyways. But I healed 10 by accident instead of 1.
So you're putting up your damaged RayEels now to do the KO. And do you think actually this misplay works out in your benefit because then all the damage is on 1 Pokemon? And I'm guessing you might run a Max Potion in your deck?
I do not run Max Potion myself, no. But at this point, I understand, I just have damage, and I figured, I know he's going to try and spread probably with Landorus too. I'd rather have it more bulky on one and a little bit less on the other, so if I do heal, one of them's closer to no hits at all.
And you can always bluff Max Potion with that play, and they'll force him to, maybe use a catcher to spread if he wants to do that.
Exactly. And I'm not sure if I've actually used computer searches. I think that
no, I haven't seen the computer search come out, so you can even bluff Gold Potion even.
But yeah, Gold Potion was also the other thing too. And I figured too, because like I said, Mewtwo's not too worried, and he only has that 1 energy on it. So I was like, either way, I'm going to be, switching next turn anyways. And this is where I start hating myself for that misplay, because I knew he was going to catch on that eel. I knew it. I was like, dang it, I don't have that other switch.
Oh, but he doesn't look like he has an energy to attack either, so he's going to attach to the Landorus, unless he's going to try Ho-Oh right here. He doesn't have it. He Junipered one of his energy switches away, which he could have used it if he just rebirthed the Ho-Oh.
Honestly, I think he might have just forgotten about his Ho-Oh at this point, because he knows I've burned 3 catchers. I don't think it would be wrong of him to definitely flip it now, because he does have 3 energy in the discard at this point, or more, I think.
All right, so there goes the computer search, and you're going to grab a switch, hopefully.
I'm hoping. Good times. Turns out, last one's prize.
Oh no! Well, this is quickly turning to be a poor situation there. That misplay really hurt.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Yeah, and that's why after that I'm like, you know what? I might have just cost myself the game, because I was actually at least catching up, because we both started really slow, and he took a couple prizes, but I caught up faster. Then he was able to continue catching up. So at this point, we're both kind of just top decking pretty much, just being like trying to get something in play. And so of course this is me going, oh goodness, like what am I going to take, right? I don't even have it, so I end up taking the Pokemon Center, as you'll see in a second here, because that's all I can do. I was like, I might as well heal while I'm waiting to get out of the active, right?
It's true. It's true. No, I mean, you can at least put Rayquaza out of one-shot range from Land Judgment in 2 turns. But yeah, that will be before he can power it up, hopefully. And at this point, I think Jack's burned at least 3 catchers, because he took 2 Tynamos and 1 Eel, so he might have 1 left. So if you can buy 1 more turn to heal your Ray, then it's too late for him to kill it.
Yep. Exactly. And at this point, too, I'm like, you know what? I don't even really have... I have some electric in the discard, too, right? But I'm like, I still have a lot in my deck, so I know that I can at least manually attach to pull it. If I have me, I'm checking how many catchers he has left.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of happy to see 3, because I just wanted to verify that, to be honest, because I was thinking, I was like, wait, he did use 3, right? I was like, please let it not be 2. Because I was like worried that he might still have 2 left. So I think I end him at this point.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had a fun time when I was playing against Brian too. One of my losses was to Brian, and he got to play, I think, 5 or 6 catchers in the game because Sableye Junk Hunt, and it was not a good time. I was just like, ugh, catcher all day, all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, at this point, I'm really worried that he is just going to attack, retreat, you know, hit me for 60. I'm assuming that's going to happen, right? He's going to have the ability to at least do that, even if he doesn't have hit me for 60. And if I do retreat, he can KO me, right, with the knockout, which is why I'm glad I do that at Pokemon Center, because at least I can, you know, heal it off enough that I can keep it from being one-hit shot without that another catch. So he only really has 1, and there's only so many things he can do with it, right? So I'm assuming he's probably going to, 4 prices left, he's going to probably decide to do it with find a way to kill my Rayquaza. He won't have the ability to really kill anything else, right? Because he has no more catchers left.
Mm-hmm. So that was a pretty solid end you got there, and you don't know what was in his hand, but he couldn't play whatever was there. What was your thinking like? Did you think the end might help him, or did you not really care? You just want to see new cards?
And I assumed, because I believe he did use a support the turn before, I wanted to make sure he didn't have any Skylas or anything like that for that last catcher. I figured if I end him at least pulling another one, because he probably only runs 2 or 3, or probably a little more likely for that. And also, he had 5 cards, like I said, he kept looking at his cards, and he was kind of eyeing the table a lot, so I knew he may either reverse psychology or he was thinking about plays, so I'd rather just remove that thought process and kind of at least, you know, maybe knock him a little bit, so that he thinks stuff. Sometimes that makes people misplay. So.
Mm-hmm. So he just rolled the dice there. I'm guessing that was a rebirth attempt, and that failed.
For the third, he's 0 for 3 at this point, I think.
Oh, ouch.
Times and missed. Yeah, that tails right there was the one I was going, oh, thank goodness. Right? I really needed to have tails at that point. Because now I can at least retreat next turn, come in with Rayquaza, and KO one of those EXs.
Alright, so he's going to take his time here, and you attach manually to Eel last turn, so you'll have the ability to switch if you have another energy in hand this turn. And so Jack is kind of on a time frame now. He is running out of catchers, and if you have an energy in hand, you can get a KO now and get a KO next turn, and that's pretty much GG in any standpoint, because there's nothing else he can stall with. He has the Skyline in hand. He's going to be searching up. What are you fearful of right now?
Only going for a catcher, and because I have 2 more eels before that, I'm nothing, right? And at this point, all he can do is stall. Because if he could kill me, he would have already, right? So at this point, he's definitely trying to stall. He's going to try and catch the other one up and try and obviously get Landorus into play would be my guess, right? But he would want to stall me a little further. So he, of course, looked in his deck, and I even said to him, I'm like, not there, hey? He just like looked at it, he's like, nope.
Okay, so it's prized.
Yeah, at this point, it's prized. So now his last catcher are both prized. So at this point, it's now really tough. Yeah, and he's going to take the Evaluate to try and stop me from one-hit KOing, right? Because I only have, I think, 3 heals, right? So I can only KO I can only do 180 at this point, right? I don't run plus power, and he knows that.
Mm-hmm. And you have no more electrics in your discard. That's probably what he was checking for.
I just have the 3. Mm-hmm. But I will have 4 once that yield goes.
So pretty smart play by Jack over there, just to buy himself a little bit more time. But he puts it on the Landorus, which means he's going to be like, kill the Mewtwo. I don't care.
Yeah. because he's thinking ahead, right? He's thinking that even if I can get 2 off of him, that he'll be able to hopefully, obviously get Ho-Oh up and get, there it is, the retreat, right? He's hoping that he can take out, like, keep me enough away from his Landorus, from his Mewtwo Landorus, right? Because I only have 1 catcher left. Right? And he doesn't know where it is. It could be my prizes, could be my deck. But I did search my deck, it is there. So I know it exists. Have to get it, or my Tool Scrapper, which is left in there, because I don't think he knows that I run 2. So, yeah. And this is my deck as well. I really don't need anything. I'm just burning cards. I'm just trying to go through my deck. I'm counting, right, and seeing how many cards I have, how many supporters. I was actually had a lot of supporters and a lot of energy left at this point. So I know that I'm going to pull at least something, but I did have my last catcher in there as well, and a Skyla, I think. So.
Okay, so I don't even know what's in your hand right now. You have 1 card left in your hand after this Ultra Ball. I'm hoping it's a draw support. We're all hoping. We're all cheering for you, Julia.
It's a Bianca or Juniper. I can't remember at this point.
It's an N.
All right, good to know.
Plus 3 cards.
There it is, my 4th N. But I don't mind that at all. Like I said, at this point, I want my Junipers and stuff left. And there's not a lot that I need right this very second. I do need that Tool Scraper, for sure. So I'm definitely hoping that that's going to happen. Or an energy. I think that was the issue. I didn't have any.
You need an energy bad. Catcher, I see Catcher, and I don't know what your last card was. You got a Juniper, a Catcher, and I'm guessing no energy because you're not attaching it. Well, it looks like a Fire Energy.
Yeah, I do have Fire Energy. That I remember that is what I attached to my eel.
Yeah.
I do have that Fire. And yeah, I know I have the Catcher.
And now you have 4 energies after this, because you can Dynamo the 1 and you have 4 electrics, so you could kill the Landorus next turn even with the Violite. So you pretty much have game here.
Yep. At this point, yeah, it's pretty much game. He does go for the Ho. I think he does finally get it. At his last.
Spoilers!
Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert. Yeah, no, he was 0 for 4 though at this point, so he's like, just not doing well in the Ho. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how much that would have been helpful though, because he needs to hit that Catcher, and the Catcher's gone.
Yeah. Well, no, he's definitely gonna go for. What he's going to try and do, because taking that fighting, right? He's definitely trying for energy switch to Lance Judgment, because I have 30 damage. He can KO me with that.
Yeah, but you got the 2nd KO behind there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like, even if he hits the Land Judgment earlier, it's not like he will have a 2nd Land Judgment ready.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's just hoping that I don't get what I need to, I guess. But I think it's pretty one-sided just at this last turn here.
It all depends on what you push up after he KOs. If you push up the wrong Pokemon,
we go to the front. Oh no! What did I?
Because I think you're out of switches at this point, right?
That 1 prize left over there. That's my switch.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
My last switch, right? The last prize I take is.
But he doesn't know that, because your switch was prize from earlier, because you Skyline didn't hit it. But you took 2 prizes, so could have been there.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't know that I, would have chosen to switch or not, right? Because after I took those prizes just now, right, he doesn't know if I have them or if I do not have it, right? But he, then gets heads as well. There you go. So finally...
2nd Ho-Oh, what the hey?
Yeah. Like I said, I think he's just really trying to get energy on the board. If he can, if there's, any way to do something, right?
But I don't understand, because there's no way he can stop the 2nd.
Yeah, but at this point, he might as well. Why not?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only way is if he can Catcher your Eel, but we know his Catcher's gone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you won't be able to power up. Maybe he was just hoping you push up the wrong Pokemon.
Oh, I go for Emolga. And I think a big part of this game for sure, at least that helped for a couple turns, was that he misplayed on my Emolga. If he had taken it out somehow, or taken out like an Eel or something, right, or a Dynamo, this game could have gone differently. Or at least could have taken me a couple extra turns to get there, and he only has 2 prizes, right? Could have been that extra turn that saved him. Now this is where I get a little overkill. So I and I know I have a Tool Scraper left. I counted my cards. I have 9 cards left in my deck. So I'm like,
just having fun now.
Yeah. So essentially have enough to do what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have enough to do 300 damage. Plus I take away his Violite just for.
And a handshake.
He was just like, what? And then someone was like, what is she doing? He's like, overkill.
That's always the fun part.
It was a good match. It was just, it was one of those things that not much Jack could do at that point. Neither of us drew really well at the beginning, and then I just ended up drawing a little better, a little faster.
Mm-hmm. Well, misplay on each side, so that cancels each other out, and I think in the end, the ability of Rays to kill things in one hit makes a huge difference, and the fact you got set up and all that kind of stuff. Things just turn out ties. Well, okay, well, thanks, Julia. We're gonna do. I didn't do this. I still haven't picked the winners from last time, but we're gonna do another booster code giveaway for this video, and I'm gonna have Julia pick the winner. So people, the top commenter picked by Julia will get 2 booster codes. So feel free to send your compliments and/or bribes to Julia, and try to keep it clean, guys. Compliment her on her personality, her voice, maybe her taste in Pokemon. I don't know. Are you an Eevee fan?
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We'll have more games with Julia coming up. Cheers.